Welcome back to Onshape. We're going to be continuing activity 1.2.5 with this shape, but first we need to change some things in our organization. I've created the folder activity 1.2.5 so we can keep all of our figures in this folder. But if you recall, we had not created that folder when we created our last shape. So I'm going to right click on the shape and select Move To and then Folder 1.2.5. And I want to select Move Here. Now I've already moved my object here, so I don't have to do that again. So if I were to click on this folder, I should see the object. I want to go to Create now and Document to create the new part. I'm going to give this one a different name. I'll call it Activity 1.2.5, and we're going to call it Holes. And I'll click OK. Now coming back to our shape, there's a few things we've not seen before. First, we have the hole. It tells us it's a 1/4 inch diameter through. This means the hole extends all the way through the shape. We can see that in the hidden lines as well, but this gives us a lot of deep definition in case we couldn't quite make out or understand how far it went in. The other thing we want to make sure we look at is this note. All dimensions are in inches. We need to make sure we're using inches with each one of these. Now our shape is broken up into 3 primitive forms, meaning simple shapes. We have a cylinder, a rectangular prism, and a cylinder. We also have 3 holes, and we'll look at creating those in a moment. Taking this information, there are a number of ways that I could create this form. I'm going to do it what I think is the simplest, though if you do it differently, that's all right as well. The end result should always fit the dimensions of the original figure. I'm going to start at the bottom and work up with this one, meaning I'll create a cylinder, then a rectangular prism on top, followed by another cylinder. So here I see that the radius, or excuse me, the diameter, is 1.25 inches, and it's 0.5 inches tall. I'm going to go in, select my sketch tool, and then the top plane, because I'm going to extrude everything up. I'll go to the top view, and I'm going to create a circular sketch at the center. Now that I have my circle, I'll check my dimension again and see that it's 1.25 inches. I'll select the dimension tool. Oh, I select the wrong tool. There we are. It should be 1.25 inches, and since by default we're already in inches, I don't have to add a unit. Now my circle is the correct size. I'll confirm, go back to my isometric view, and now I'll extrude. Checking my dimension again, I remember that it's 0.5 inches. I'll select the figure and type in 0.5 and confirm. I now have a 0.5 inch cylinder with a 1.25 inch diameter. Next, I have to create a sketch on top of this surface for my rectangular prism. So I'll select Sketch and the top of the surface and return to my top side view. I see that the rectangle should have a size of 1/2 inch. How do I know that? I know that from the center of this circle to the side of the figure is 0.25 inches. Since this is centered, I know that the size of the actual rectangular prism must be 5 across, or 0.5 across. So I'll go back in, and I'm going to use the Center Point Rectangle tool so I can start at the center. I'll dimension this to be 0.5 and 0.5. And I'll confirm. Going back to my isometric view, I have to extrude this upward, but how far? I know that this figure is 0.5. The top is 0.25, and overall it is 2.5 inches, but it doesn't tell me the exact measurement of the rectangular prism portion. I can deduce this by seeing 0.5 subtracted by 2.5 will give me 2. That means the combination from here to here is 2 inches. Well, I still have to reduce it by 0.25. 2 minus 0.25 is 1.75. Therefore, I know that the height of the prism is 1.75 inches. I'll go back in, select Extrude, select the correct figure, and I want to type in 1.75 and confirm. The last piece that I have to do in my primitives is the top cylinder. which has the same diameter of 1.25 inches and a thickness of 0.25. So I'll create another sketch on top of the figure, go to my top side view, and I'm going to create a circle at the very top. And I'll confirm, or before I confirm, I need to dimension it at 1.25. You should see everything line up at this point. I'll confirm, go back to my isometric view, and then I'm going to extrude. And I remember to extrude this 0.25 inches. And as you see, I have a bit of an issue. This isn't exactly what I need to have yet. So I'm going to go back and reselect my figure so that I select both of these so that it fills in the shape. Notice that I'm able to select the figure here and it will fill in the gap. Now I'll confirm. Going back to the activity, I see that I have holes 0.5 inch and 0.5 inch increments from the bottom. I can fix this by selecting this face and creating a new sketch. And I'm going to go to the front side view. First, I'll create a circle. I see that the diameter of these circles is 0.25. So I'll dimension it at 0.25. And I know the center should be half an inch from this point here. So I'm going to go to the dimension tool. I'm going to dimension from the center of the circle to this line at 0.5 inches. Going back, I see this cycle repeats 2 more times, and so I'm going to repeat my tiny circle here 2 times. Each time, I'm going to dimension them to 0.25 inches. Looking at where they're dimensioned from, they're dimensioned half an inch from the center of each circle. So I'll dimension from the center to center at 0.5 inches. Now the circles are in the correct place, I'll confirm. I'm going to go back to my isometric view, and I want to use the extrude tool. I'm going to extrude each form by selecting each one, and this will allow me to extrude them all simultaneously. This is useful as they'll all be the same depth, and should I ever need to change it, I can do it in one action. Going back to my tool, I see that it extrudes through. So I need to change this direction to go into the object instead of out of the object. So instead of doing an additive extrusion, I'll do a subtractive one by choosing remove. Notice it now goes into the object. If I rotate, I should see the hole extends all the way through. And I'll confirm. This completes the form so that it matches the original figure.